Hello and good morning, and thanks for joining us today for the Summit Area Y New Year Sprints 2023. This is session 1 of 2 for today. It's the 11 and 12-year-olds. As you can see, we're still setting up. Officials have not entered the pool yet, and the swimmers are still in the staging area, which is upstairs in the gym. So real quick, I'll give you a quick rundown. So Summit Area Y is a 6-lane, 25-yard pool. Lane 1 is at the bottom of your screen. Thank you. Yep. All right, so we're starting with event number 1 this morning, going to event 12. So if you're familiar with traditional heat sheets, we have basically 3 sides and a half. So they're So we're starting off event number 1, girls, 11, 12, 100-yard IM. We have 7 heats there. I don't know if everything's been updated within Meet Mobile. So Meet Mobile is an application where they can post results. As soon as I get an electronic copy of the heat sheets, I will be trying to display names. So this is Mike from Common Guy Sports. If somebody could acknowledge in the chat that everything's coming through, looks okay, and you can hear me. Should hear a little background noise from the stands. All right, so real quick, a quick rundown before we get started. I'm going to keep the scoreboard on the top left of the screen. So that is managed here. It's a little bright, so there is a little bleed through in that text that you see there. And in the top center, you can see the event and heat number. So that says event 2. We're actually starting with, I believe, event 1. So these are traditional kind of meets in the sense that the odd numbers are the girls, followed by the even numbers for the boys. So event 1 is the girls, 11, 12, 100-yard IM. 2 is the boys. Then we're going to 50 free. Then we're going event 5, 50 back. Event 7 is 50 fly. Event 9, 50 breaststroke. And event 11 is a 200 freestyle relay. All right, so as you can see, the 6 blocks on the left side, lane 1 at the bottom, lane 6 at the top. If I do get electronic heat sheets, I will try and display the names So these are just a quick example. These are old names, but I'll try and display that so you can then see the lane assignments. All right, that's provided I get a copy. So I'm going to start with this camera here, which is at our start end. As the kids take off, I'll transition to this, more of a fisheye view of the pool. It's a little short of halfway. And then down the far end, I have another camera for the turns. Okay. There are no 25s, so everything will be started and finished at the same end. The start end that you see here. She's still learning my buttons. Okay. Again, the kids have not entered the pool. Traditionally, the way that Summit will run a meet, kids are upstairs. Ironically, there's a gym right above the pool. They'll come in, they'll marshal them in, and across the top of the screen there, you see where there's a couple sets of bleachers. They will marshal the kids there, and then they'll come around to the blocks. Okay? So I try and have that in view. The other aspect that I try and update is that top right, where it says next race. I will try and put the names of the swimmers in the next heat, provided, again, I have that and I'm able to keep that updated. So that's just an artifact that I had 8 lanes listed. So you'll see it like that, lane 6. And again, lane 1 is your near lane. So in that top right ordering, it's going to be inverse of how they'll line up behind the blocks. Now, one thing, I am running on a little slower internet than expected, so I'm not streaming at full quality, but I am recording a copy such that I'll upload it afterwards, and we'll be able to watch it at a higher quality. So YouTube has added a capability called clips. So after I upload it later tonight or tomorrow, you'll be able to, in a sense, create your own short clips from this stream. So in a sense, a highlight reel or something that you might want to just share your particular child swimming. So again, if somebody could acknowledge, easiest way is if you're on your phone or computer, there is a chat capability within YouTube. Please acknowledge that audio and video looks okay. Again, we'll be starting with this camera, switching to mid-pool, and then I have one more camera at the turn end. Okay? All right. Again, kids have not come out yet, so short delay. We'll get started shortly. Thank you, Kara, for acknowledging. Again, this is session 1 of 2. The second session follows this. Do I have a timeline? Yeah, so roughly we're supposed to start at 10, and then the last event is supposed to start at 11:27. So not an overly long session. And then warm-ups for that secondary session should start pretty close to when we finish here, and then if you do have a swimmer in that second session, I thought I saw the estimated meet was supposed to wrap around 4 or 4:15. Okay. You see some swimmers coming on deck. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. Again, just going off some historically how they've run meets here in the past. Okay, so they're just counting off the timers. I don't know if you hear that in the background. So the officials going down, verifying that we have 2 timers in each. If you're not familiar with the timing, so there'll be 2 volunteers behind. One will have a clipboard. You can probably see them here. And then the other, so the clipboard person will have the clipboard to write the times and also have a stopwatch. And then the other person will have their own stopwatch and then utilize what's known as the backup plunger, which is tied into, I'm sorry, I have a little audio issue. And then that backup plunger is tied into the timing system. So should the swimmer come in and touch on the wall did not register, that'll also indicate a stop for the scoreboard. All right, again, anybody just joining us? Slight delay here getting started. We're starting off with event number 1, girls 11, 12, 100-yard IM. 7 heats on the girls' side. Let's see. Yeah, all right, so when I do get the names, I'll display them like this. So we have them. I have not received them yet. All right, so on the top right of your screen, you can see some of the swimmers entering the pool. So again, they're in a staging area in the gym, being marshaled down. So based on expecting the meet to move quickly, I'm just going to probably display the names. As I get a chance, I will read them. So in this case, event 1, heat 1, Gabby Marks is in lane 2. Sky Mullen, lane 3, and Maeve Kelly in lane 4. So we have 3 swimmers. We should see them coming behind the blocks there. Adjust this a little so we can. All right, I just heard a timer's ready. I'm still trying to work. Okay, here it comes. Give me 1 second. This is going to just be pretty quick. All right, so one other camera angle. This is fisheye of the whole pool. The intent here is should we have, a longer race, we might need to go to this view. All right, here we go. Event 1, heat 1. So I will try and monitor the chat. So if anybody has a question, kind of why is this work this way or what's going on with this, feel free to post it. I'm a ex-swim parent, so spent many a day in the stands. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So again, this is a 100-yard IM, 25 of each stroke discipline. So you see the backstrokers coming in, backstroke, and then transitioning to the breast. You guys need to, excuse me, you need to enter that side. All right, heat 2 underway. All right, so there are not timing pads at this far end, the turn end. So all the splits that we will be getting are 50 increments. Okay. So you see that case there with lane 3 with the dashes and also lane 5. So that's going to be a scenario where the button, the backup timer, was pressed prior to the wall being touched. That's just a visual indication. Both times are recorded, and then there are officials in the back room which are basically they're settling up all those results. So there was a noise in-house, and traditionally nobody's disqualified for false starts like that, so they'll just come back to the block. Okay, so heat 3 of 7 in the water. Lane 1 at the bottom, Loeffler, Devaney, Corduroy, Mercado, Zumbada, and Campbell at 6 up on the top of the screen. Again, so the scoreboard on the top left, that'll get updated just before the event starts. And so if you're a little new, the times that are then displayed, even though the names get updated, the times are from the previous race. So in this case, lane 6, Liv Campbell, if that's your swimmer of interest, at the top of the screen there, when Liv finishes, her times will stay there, and then you'll see the names increment to the swimmers in the next race. And then only at the start, those times are then wiped off. So if you're scrambling to write the time down or take a screenshot, you have a little bit of time. And then the other beauty of YouTube is that you can always jump back. So even though this is a live stream, at any point you can pause it or rewind at your own discretion, and then be able to watch. Okay. So again, the quality might be a little lower than I traditionally stream at. The internet's a little slower than I expected. So I am recording it, and I'll upload a higher quality later. Okay, so now you see the names change, but the times are still there from the previous race until the start. Okay, so heat 4 of 7 in the water. I'll read the names for 5 since I haven't received them yet. Aris, Dunstan, Young, Carly, Whistler, and Tesler in 6. Again, that's the upcoming race. So one other housekeeping thing if you're new to swim meets. So this invitational, in a sense, it's not a head-to-head race. They might be keeping team scores, but traditionally it's used for swimmers to post new times or best times for some of the upcoming end-of-year championship meets. I do not have silvers and state times on the sheet I have here in front of me. I imagine, or that I know they are in Meet Mobile, so you could always get them that way. And then along with that, so within a particular event, so this is event 1, which is the particular type of race, the 100-yard IM. So obviously we can't fit all the swimmers at one race, so they're broken out into heats. And these heats are then seeded, and that seeding is based on the entry times. So just, again, lane 6 here, Jackie Tesler came in with a 1:20:48 seed time. So then that's used to put her in a group of swimmers with similar times. And the way that works is also they're seeded for these shorter, the shorter races, the non, 500s or thousands. They're seeded slowest to fastest. So as we move along, here we are in heat 5, the swimmers' seed times, or ultimately what you're expecting their finish times, would be faster than some of the swimmers that were in the earlier. Yeah, so great swim there. Layla Dunstan, lane 2, came in with a 1:19:60 and posted a 1:15:30. So nice improvement. All right, so I just received the heat sheets. Let's see if we can pull this off real quick. It's in the wrong spot. All right, so there are the names of the swimmers about to take off. All right, so I'll try and keep that updated. So those are the swimmers in Heat 7. So if I get this updated in time. So now on the top right, you should see the names for the boys. So it says next race, but in a sense, the next race is the first heat of the boys' race. All right. All right, so again, hopefully that gives you a little preview of upcoming. So again, we're in Heat 7, the last of the girls of the 100-yard IM. Then we'll move on to the boys. And on the boys' side, there's 8 heats. And then beyond that, then we move on to the 50 free. All right, so up next, again, the boys, 100-yard IM. So again, on the top right, you see the 3 names of the boys. And here they are in their lane assignments. All right. Love to get your feedback, too, that, adding the names like that, something we did recently. Hopefully it helps. If you find that useful, please let us know. All right, boys underway, Heat 1. Now on the top right are the boys' names for Heat 2. Again, Heat 2 of 8. So then, after just kind of, again, looking ahead, I mentioned 50 free, and then we're going 50 back. One other little tidbit. So in the top center, that section of the scoreboard there has a blue section. It says lead lengths. Not really applicable here, but in the longer races, like later on when we move on to, do we have 200s? I guess we just finished with the 200 relay. So at that point, in order to complete 200, we need to do 8 lengths. So that comes into play there. And also, again, when you have something like a 500 where it's 20 lengths, that's a good indication of how many lengths, in a sense, how many 25s the lead swimmer has completed. Again, I try and keep most of the swimmers in view when they're spread out like this. I might transition to this camera. The pool is not that green. It is pretty blue, but it gives us a better view of the overall pool. All right. Again, upcoming Heat 2 swimmers, names on the top right. And here's their lane assignments. All right, now updated on the top right are the names for Heat 3. So we did get it started a little late. Only a couple minutes behind schedule now. But if you did join us a little later than the start, and you were interested in some swimmers in that first event, event one was the girls' side of this 100-yard IM, you can rewind at any point, go back and catch up, and then either fast forward to jump or you can continue to watch maybe 5 or 10 minutes delayed. YouTube allows all that different capabilities. And then this stream will be, it'll be available to rewatch later today, tomorrow, and so on. All right, we still have a swimmer out in lane 1. All right, again, this is heat 2 in the water. Names for 3 are on the top right. I've heard feedback in the past. Some people just like staying on kind of this view here. Everybody has a different viewing. I try and keep it more focused as if you were here, where you're kind of watching the swimmers progress down. But again, love to get feedback. I only can, implement things based on learning some preferences that you might have. All right, moving along. Heat 3 in the water. Names for Heat 4 are now updated on the top right. All right, and here are the names for the swimmers for the next heat. And now on the top right are the swimmers for Heat 5.
So, lane 4. Martin Sarkany, lane there in lane 4, came in with a seed of 124.92. Just swam a 112.71, so more than 12-second drop. Great swim. And again, so the blue text you see, I'm just taking that from the heat sheets. That's lane assignment, name, age, team affiliation, and then you see those seed times there. Again, that's kind of the best time that that particular swimmer has swum this event. And there's no indication if they swam that last week, last year, or 2 years ago. So again, depending on the event, some swimmers might not have swum this in a while, so they might come in with a high seed time and then drop a large amount of times. And sometimes kids just, have a great day and put in a great effort and drop a lot of time. All right, so heat 5 in the water. Names for 6 are on the top right. Eight total heats here for the boys. And then again, we'll move on to event 3, which is a 50-yard free, and there's 6 heats for the girls. 116.75 on a... Yes, that was a over 4-second drop there. Great swim, Javen Ventura there in lane 3. Okay, 6 in the water. Names for 7 are on the top right. So I mentioned earlier that the seeding is, grouping the kids with similar times. And then within the system, it also puts, within the group of swimmers, the faster times to the center of the pool. So in this case, up in lane 6 there, traditionally, against the seed times, that swimmer, it's more rare that an outside lane will lead and win a race. The old term, outside smoke. So, great swim going on here. That's William Chang up there in lane 6. Came in with a 119.52 and drops almost 8 seconds. Okay, so that was lane 6. Here's the names for 7. And on the top right are the names for 8. And again, 8 will be our last heat. All right. Here we go with our final heat of the boys. All right, so now on the top right, you'll see the names for the girls. So it is our next race, but that is heat 1 of event number 3 up next. So the best time there was Mac Coaster Lane 3, 106, and he came in 107.55. So drop in time. All right, first heat of the girls, 50 free. Down and back. All right, again, we have 6 heats in this event, followed by 10 heats on the boys. Again, 6 heats for the girls, 10 heats for the boys. Again, these move pretty quick. Probably one of the more exciting that we'll have today in the sense of Rose Devaney there came in with a 41.96 and just swam a 32.91. Great job. All right, here's our swimmers for heat 2. And the names for 3 are now updated on the top right. There's True Outside Smokes, lane 1 and 6 going 1-2. All right, 3 in the water, 4 names, top right. Again, 6 total heats here. Progressively getting faster and faster with the kids' seed times and ultimately what we would expect in the finish times. Tie. Look at that. 31-11s. Two of them. Good job, girls. So again, there's not like individual points or team points as the main focus of today. Today's about the kids getting time such that they potentially could be invited to year-end meets and get seeded accordingly. Some meets at the year-end have qualifying times. So with the tie, it's great for both of the kids. Should this be a competitive, they basically add the points up from each place and then split them. So like in a high school meet, that's where you see the points being divvied up, and potentially, you can have half points. So, all right. This is the final heat for the girls. So the names you'll see on the top right will be the first heat of the boys. Those are now updated. Hopefully you can hear the excitement. So what did it do? So 28:40 to, it was like a half second between first and fourth. A little more than a second between first and fifth. All right, so here's our boys. We have 3 entries in this first heat. Again, heat 1 of 10 for the boys. Okay, underway, heat 1. So again, sometimes I overshare information. Some people might find it interesting, some might not. So in this case, there's 3 swimmers in this heat. And as I update the names in the top right, you'll see that there's 4 swimmers in that. So yes, it's a 6-lane pool, but should they put everybody, utilize the whole lanes, then we would have had 1 swimmer in this race. So the software is smart enough to take care of things like that. So it adds another heat, but really don't want to put a swimmer out there all by themselves to race. So that's why we have a case here of 3 swimmers and then 4 swimmers. So again, if you're new to swimming or watching and you have questions sort of like that, why is this doing this way? Feel free to post them in the chat. I'll try and answer them best I can. So I know there's sort of an important football game on tonight, but if you're interested in watching more swimming, actually going on today is also the Morris County Championship for the high schools. So I know that Rainey's here and some of the Say swimmers are, Summit Area Y is right on the border of Union County and Morris County. Chatham, Madison are all Morris County. So if you are interested, that meet is also being broadcast by Morris Sussex Sports. So if you are interested in more swimming, squeeze that in before the big Giants-Eagles game tonight. All right, Heat 3 underway. Names for 4 are now up top right. And I think the other big high school meet, which Morris Sussex is also covering, is the Sussex-Warren-Middlesex County meet. That's out at Phillipsburg, Peaburg as it's known. The Morris County meet is actually held at Morristown High School. One thing of note, if you do tune into that is a meters pool. So some older pools and some cases will have 25-meter pools. So a meter is a little longer than a yard. So if you watch that, you'll see the times might seem slower, just that the swimmers are swimming a little longer distance for each race. Here we go at Heat 4. Theo South in there in lane 3, about a 2-second drop. Nice swim. All right. Names for 6 are on the top right. Again, if you're just joining, the scoreboard that you see on the top left, that is just a camera pointing at that. So that is the actual scoreboard in-house. So they're not the official times when the kids touch, but more than likely if it's a clean touch, it will be the official time. Top center is another section of the scoreboard just so you can see the event and heat. And then I'm putting that data up on the top right with the names. So I'm just stealing that from a heat sheet, doing kind of a look ahead. So now here's our swimmers for heat number 6. The data on the top right, those times, that will not get updated. That is just the swimmer's seed time. So I have it there for reference. And what I've heard some parents that they'll watch the meet, see the swimmer finish, and then say, hey, at that point in time, what was his seed time? So you can simply kind of rewind and understand and then kind of judge the progression. All the times are also in what's an app called Meet Mobile. So you can freely download it and use it and get some data on seating and stuff. I believe you need to subscribe. I think it's a $10 a year charge to get full data in the sense of results and so on. So I imagine some parents are out there using it. I'm not sure if Summit is updating that in real time. My kids are off in college, so not swimming, so I do not have that expense at $10 a year, so I can't tell you if that's being updated. So if anybody is using Meet Mobile and seeing results, feel free to post it in the chat, and then I can share that with everybody else on the stream. All right, so Heat 7 didn't update the names for 8. All right, so the names for 8 are now updated. And now on the top right, the names for Heat 9. Again, we have 10 heats total. All right, final heat for the boys. Heat 10. All right, and then after this, boys, we're going with the girls' 50 breaststroke. I'm sorry, backstroke. Getting old. All right, the names you see on the top right are the girls for the 50 back up next. First place there, 26.95, going sub 27. Came in with a low 27 time there. Lane 4 was Nathan Sue, 27.36, and Simon 26.95. Great job. All right. So again, a little tidbit. So backstroke up next, so they clear the pool. For the other strokes, when they're coming off the starting block, they'll allow the kids to stay in the pool. It's called either a flyover start or overhead. All right. Underway, event 5, heat 1. So for this session, again, this is for the 11 and 12s, and then we have another session later for the younger kids. We're going up to event 12. So again, odd numbers of the girls' events, followed by even numbers for the boys. So this is event 5. When we event 7 is a 50 butterfly. Just so we have that. Looking ahead, event 9, 50 breaststroke, and then 11 is freestyle relays. So again, those are the odd numbers for the girls, followed by the subsequent even numbers for the boys. Okay, here's our swimmers for heat number 2. It's like a 5-second drop. Haley Dunstan there in lane 1. Nice swim. All right. Heat 4 names in the lanes. Again, 5 total heats. So 1 heat following this one. 1 additional heat. So Ava Manning there came in 35.83, swam at 33.56. Nice two and change drop. Final heat for the girls. All right. So the names you see are for the boys for the first heat. Again, on the boys' side, 6 heats. In the pool right now, final heat for the girls. Then we'll transition to the boys for 6 heats. And then on the heels of that will be the 50 butterfly. So that was a tight one, 32-36, 32-39. I know that red text up there, a little hard to read on the scoreboard. In person, it's bright, I'll tell you that, but it kind of bleeds a little on the camera, so. All right, underway for the first heat of the boys. And I'm just realizing like that the camera I have at the start's a little dark. Sorry about that. Kind of trying to adjust that for the afternoon session. All right, again, this is heat number 1 of 6 for the boys. So again, I'm not streaming it full quality. Had a little internet, a little slowness. So as opposed to having it buffer and be jittery, I pushed the overall quality down a little. I am recording it at higher quality, so I will upload that. So in the future, if you wanted to rewatch this or keep this for and use it for clips, like highlight clips, YouTube has that capability. So you'll see that just under as you're rewatching it. Just under it's called Clips. They've been rolling it out. Most people should have it. If you don't, feel free to reach out. Again, this is Mike at Common Guy Sports. You can reach us at email is commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. Again, that's one big long word, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. If you need any assistance with creating those clips or any questions or anything, feel free to reach out. Also, love to get feedback, good or bad. You know, Mike, you talk too much, or we enjoyed the stream. Love to hear it. So that's how we get better. So thank you, and thanks for joining us today. All right, up next, heat 3. 3 of 6 coming up. Did I not update this? What happened here? I'm sorry, there they go. I didn't save the file. Sorry about that. So those names only got updated really last second. I did not save the file that was needed. All right, so now on the top right, see the names for Heat 4. No. What's going on? Heat 3 in the water. I'm a little off here. Oh. All right. Hopefully I'm back in stride. I missed that finish. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, now we're back on Heat 4. Now the names on the top right for 6 are now updated. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just catching up to some of the chat. So they said Meet Mobile is being updated close to real time. Thank you for posting that, Kara. And then there was a thank you posted. Hey, it's my pleasure. So I, ex-swim parent, kind of happy to provide the service. Enjoy this. I will say it is crowded here, so for the people watching remotely, don't feel like you pulled the short straw, maybe. And if you've never been to Madison Y, we're 10 feet in the air in a kind of a bleacher setup. 1, 2, 3, 5 rows of seats, kind of the length of the 25-yard pool. It is a full house. All right, here comes heat 6. 6 of 6, final heat. Mac Coaster Lane 3 came in with the sub-30 seed time. And we see there Mac with a great start. $79. Great swim there, Mac. Added a little, but that's an awesome time for 11, 12-year-old. All right, first heat of the girls up next. Girls, 25-yard butterfly. So I just realized in the top center I'm cutting off the event name. Sorry about that. So now in the top center, the red text, you can see the actual event description. Sorry. Every scoreboard's a little different. Every layout's a little different, and I didn't realize I was cutting that off. So I apologize. So now the names for Heat 2 are updated on the top right. All right, so that was heat 2. Here are the names for 3. Did that not? I'm sorry, here. Now they're updated. All right. Seven, 4. Oh, sorry. So lane 2 there, Michelle Fadive came in 37.36, just swam a 33.98. Awesome swim. So I apologize. I'm trying to catch and acknowledge great swims. I'm a one-man shop here, so if I overlook or do not recognize an individual swimmer's efforts, I'm sorry. Just kind of from here, I can see kind of if somebody's leading the pack out, kind of reference the time and so on. If there are parents, volunteers, I've talked to Pat about this in the past. If any parents would love to hop on the microphone, read names, and provide additional commentary, I think he said he would give credits or hours back against that. So please reach out to Coach Pat. We do have the deep freeze coming up, which I'm scheduled to broadcast. All right, heat 6 underway. 6 of 6. So this is obviously our final heat. And then we'll move to the boys' side. And the names for the boys, you see that now updated on the top right. Lane 3 there, Emma Price dropping a little, getting close to that sub-30 time. Came in with a 30.44. All right, first heat of the boys underway. Names for boys in heat 2 are now updated on the top right. Again, on the boys' side, 6 heats here. And then we'll move to the 50 breaststroke. On the girls' side, we have 6 heats there. Again, we're moving right along. I guess this was supposed to start at 10:59. Real time here at Summit Y is at 11:09. So we're about 10 minutes behind. If somebody is on driving duty, not that the last race was supposed to go off at 11:30. So I guess about a half hour more of swimming. I'll show my age and say, if you have driving duties and need to pick up the kids, that's your projected. But I imagine 95% of the kids have phones, so they've been in touch. I imagine there's got to be somebody out there that grew up and playtime in the summer was be home when the street light comes on. So I am of that generation. All right, so that was Heat 2. Names for 3 are here. The names for 4 are now updated on the top right. So that was Ventura's time. He had a 40.99 seed. So awesome drop there. First name, Jay Ventura there. All right, for anybody just joining us, the names you see on the top right of the screen there in orange text, I'm updating those. So those are the swimmers that, in a sense, are lining up behind the blocks to race next. They might be the next heat, or they're the first heat of the next event, depending where we are. So every event, event is 50 free, 50 back, whatever it might be. There's multiple heats, individual races within that event. And then I update those names to give you a kind of look ahead of who's coming up. All this data is in Meet Mobile, which is an app you can download for your phone or tablet, Android or iPhone. And that has all the data. If anybody's never used it, I did a little instructional video for Meet I did last week. If you go and look, I think it was session 3 from last week. I kind of walk through how you can do it. One of the things you can do within Meet Mobile is select favorite swimmers, and then you can see only results for that particular swimmer. So, and you can obviously it allows you to select multiple favorites. So as opposed to, waiting for the child to text you or call you and say, I'm in this race and so on. As soon as the meet is seeded, there's a tight race. Those entries or information will be updated, and then you can see it and kind of project it. All right, this is the final heat. So the names that you'll see in the top right in a couple seconds will be the girls for their first heat. of the 50 breaststroke. A 29.45 against a 29.56, sorry. Lane 3, Drew. That was Colin Drew taking the best time. All right, here's the girls, 50 breast. All right, so we have 6 heats for the girls. And looking beyond the girls, 7 heats for the boys. So as the name of this meet, New Year's Sprints, suggest, a lot of short races. So we have these 50 breast, and then we're moving to 200-yard freestyle. So freestyle relay. Let me complete that sentence. So those have 4 swimmers each swimmer swimming 50 yards, all swimming freestyle. So those, sometimes they're run first. It's interesting they're being run last. It's kind of a good way to have some excitement towards the end of the meet. Okay, that was Heat 1. Names for Heat 2 are here. And the names for 3 are now updated in the top right. All right, Sam Harris there at lane 2 came in 48.39 and swam a 43.88. Nice 2-second drop there. Charlotte Lee, lane 5, came in 44.10. 42.29, I think, was on the board. All right, up next, Heat 4. All right, names for Heat 5 are on the top right. Again, if you didn't, so there you saw dashes up there on the scoreboard. If you're joining us later, I mentioned it earlier. Those are when the touch on the wall wasn't registered, and then the button, the backup timer's button, was pressed. It's not a concern. The timing official reviews all the times, looks for discrepancies, and then will make a judgment based on using either the backup time, the wall time, or then compared against the two button time or the two stopwatch times. So if we did have, power failure mid-race, there are handheld stopwatches, 2 of them behind the blocks being used by the volunteers there. So all right, so that was Heat 5. Here's our names for the final heat. And on the top right now, the boys for their first heat.
Mike. Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
yeah. All right, event 10. Again, so this is, switch cameras. This is the last individual. Event 11 is the girls, 200 free relay, and then 12 is the boys. So we have two heats on each side of that. So for this particular event, we have 7 heats, and then we'll move into the relays. So if you are dropping off, you don't have swimmers in the end, I appreciate you joining us. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We do have a second session today for the younger kids. That will be a separate stream. So the easiest way, go to YouTube, search Common Guy Sports, 3 words. You should find our channel, and then from there, you'll see it's a scheduled stream. YouTube has the ability, you can just say, notify me when this goes live, or if you feel, I don't push people to subscribe because, you might just be at this meet kind of crossing over and, based on who's here. But the other way is if you subscribe and turn on the notification, then YouTube or Google will send you a notification when we do go live with that particular thing. All right, so that's the conclusion of Heat 1. Here's the names for Heat 2. But the part I do ask as you're watching, if there is any feedback, good or bad, I'd love to hear it. I traditionally do swim meets. I also had a daughter that played lacrosse competitive, have done lacrosse, so. And I mentioned it earlier, if you are a big swim fan and from Morris County, Morris County Championship meet is going on today at Morristown High School. I am a Chatham resident, so I'm proud to, mention Chatham's won that county title on the girls' side for 13 years in a row, so they're going for it again. The boys also have a great chance today, pull out a county championship. Boys were state title holders last year. And also Summit High School. The Union County Championships are coming up. Summit also has a very powerful girls team. So ranked in the top 10 in the state. That's Summit High School, which also swims here. So, all right, here. All right, heat 3 in the water. Names for 4 are up top and updated. Now, so as you see the official in the bottom center, so I'll explain this after it goes. Just watch that bottom strobe. All right. All right. So in the bottom center, just to the left, you see the 2 officials there checking the connection, checking the power. So that is the starting box or starting device, whatever you want to call it. So the official that has the microphone pushes a button on the side to engage the microphone. Then there's a separate button on the top, which then initiates the start. There we go. So on the button, when it's pushed, it initiates 2 things. One is the strobe, should we have any hearing impaired swimmers. And then the other is the horn or the beep. So that's what was failing. Now with that, there is kind of a safeguard that you need to have the button on the side pushed to have the upper button working. So like everything, when it's around pools and chlorine and everything else, they tend to get finicky. So there is a big effort around maintenance of that device and all the touch pads too. 40.06 McDonough. Yeah, so there's a 3.5-second drop. Cal McDowell, pardon the pronunciation, but great swim there, Cal. All right, when we get to the relays, I will not be able to display all the names of the individual swimmers. I will try and get ahead of it and display the team names. Okay, we have one more heat for the boys, and then we'll kind of talk about the relays. I'm sorry, we have 2 heats for the boys. That was 5 in the water. The names for 6 are on the top right. And here's our entries for 6. Top right, the names for 7 are updated. Okay, so 6 in the water, names for 7 updated on the top right. And then we're going to move into the relays. We got a race here, 2 and 5. Looks like 5's going to hold them off. Nice 2-second drop there from Nathan Sue up there, lane 5 from Summit Area Y. All right, here's our entries. Final heat. All right, so now on the top right, you see the team entries. So the letter there indicates the different groupings for the relays, so A, B, C, and D. So you can see that that's say Summit Area Y's D and C. So in the subsequent race, subsequent heat, will be their A's and B's, okay? And then that's their basically seed time or entry time, which is accumulation or the cumulative value of, could be individual swims if they've never swam as a group, or that could be the actual race. So there in first place was lane 3. Came in with the 35:38, so just off that seed time. All right, so here we go. 200 freestyle, every swimmer 50, so it's a down and back for each swimmer. Next swimmer cannot leave the block until the swimmer prior touches the wall. You might see them kind of winding up and getting ready. All right. I'm going to turn up the in-house mic a little. Hopefully we catch some of the excitement. All right, so see some kids on the far side hustling down. So it might have been a last-minute entry here from, looks like Rainey going in lane 5. Rainey being Randolph area. Oh, I'm sorry, there they are right in front of me. So just slow to get to the block. All right, we're underway. All right, on the top right are the entries for the next set of relays. Okay, so second swimmer in the water. So, again, other information. So the first swimmer in a relay is able to use that time for other events. So these swimmers could use that for a 50 free. But that only applies to the first swimmer because it was an official start, where the subsequent swimmers cannot use their splits because, in a sense, you're anticipating the girl coming into the wall, and swimmers will swim a little better time in that scenario versus going off a traditional start. Okay. Right. So here's our lead swimmers, lane 3 leading us out, which is Summit Area YC. Followed by lane 4. Okay. So, for reference, you can see this swimmer's split. That'll be displayed in the, I don't know why that, 30, the blue text there. You're seeing the splits for that swimmer. Okay. So final swimmer in the water. Getting a race here. Lane 4 pulls it out. Big 27.99 split there for that anchor leg. All right. So here we go. We got a full pool, 6 lanes. GMNY coming in with the low seed here in lane 3, 150. Again, I'm sorry if it's loud, but it's exciting, so I wanted to share it with you. Underway. Again, this is the final heat for the girls, and then we'll move on to the boys. That'll get updated in a second. Just got to do a housekeeping. All right. So this is first swimmer completing. Lane 3 bringing us in very close. Lane 2 had a great transition start there. Lane 4 making a push here. All right, so now you see on the top right are the boys for their first of 2 heats. Again, this is the final heat for the girls. Anchor leg in the water. And again, sorry if I don't have all the swimmers in frame. Trying to capture, see if they can hold them off here. Big push. (150.105) was their time. I think they came in at 150 seed. Yeah, 150.66. So right on it. Great race, girls. Lane 1 finishing and lane 6 still out. All right. So the girls are done. And then we have 2 races for the boys. Same 200 freestyle relays for the boys. Here's their lane assignments. All right. So I switched to this view pretty quick, just so after the start, one is at the start you want to see who's kind of getting a good reaction time, but that second camera view there gives you a good idea who kind of had a powerful start to get to halfway in the pool. That's why I switched to that. Some people have asked to stay on that first camera, but traditionally after the first 15 yards, you more want to see who's getting halfway down the pool. But again, that's one of those things that I've heard that different viewpoints from different parents. So all right, I was a little slow. Updated on the top right now are the entries in Heat 2 of 2 for the boys. That's lane 3 leading us out. Here they come into their transition. Again, not the best camera, but I want to just give you a different view so you can see. All right, lane 5 is transitioned. Next swimmer in. So lane 3 there, middle of the pool, just going off frame. That's our lead swimmer. Lead team, I should say. lane 3 leading, followed by lane 1, and then followed by lane 4. This is third lane up. Second swimmer you see there is finishing. And then followed by lane 1. All right, final race of this session. Again, we have one more session for the younger kids. Probably start about an hour after we finish here. I think there's 2 sessions of warm-ups. I'll try and go live a little bit beforehand. All right. Final race. All right, so here's our lead swimmer making the turn for the last 25. There's second place turning, third place. So 147.68. I believe that's around this. All right, that's going to conclude this sessions of races. Glad you can join us. Again, this is Mike from Common Guy Sports. We're back a little bit later with other sessions. And again, I did not stream this at the highest quality. It's a little lower than I can. I am recording this at high quality, so should anybody want a clip or higher quality, I am going to upload it later tonight or tomorrow.